A lot of talk, as you know, swirling around Washington, D.C. as to what happens next with regard to the whole inquiry. Here from 60 Minutes last night, the Speaker of the House.
Your Republican colleagues say, well, the call is the call, but there's nothing here that rises to the level of high crimes and misdemeanors.
Well, they're wrong. And it remains to be seen, because it's not just what happens in the call, it's part of the sequencing of events as well.
If you listen to the comment from there, she clearly sees something that was a high crime or misdemeanor. Ken Starr an hour ago said it's poor judgment, but it doesn't rise to that level. Whatever the truth is in the end, sir, in the near term, what is the Republican strategy to get through this?
Well, the strategy always is to get the facts out. And Speaker Pelosi jumped the gun 2 years ago. I mean, she's been, and many of her members have been calling for impeachment. She's been enabling that. And in fact, it was a tweet from AOC over the weekend that was really kind of threatening and saying that the Democrats are the ones who are committing a scandal by not impeaching the president. And lo and behold, 2 days later, she calls for impeaching the president without listing a single high crime or misdemeanor. That's what's so irresponsible about this. It really is an abuse of power to just constantly go after a president and say, we're going to impeach him even if there's nothing to impeach him on. And she and many of her leaders said that. In fact, Jerry Nadler, the chairman of one of our powerful committees, said a few weeks ago he hopes to bring impeachment proceedings onto the floor by the end of this year. And when pressed to say, name a single high crime or misdemeanor, the majority leader at the time couldn't even list one. And so they've been investigating this president since the day he took office because they don't like the results of the election in 2016.
That may be the case or not, but here is what Democrats are trying to explain. They say the Mueller matter was entirely confusing. It was difficult to get the American people to understand it. They say
but there wasn't a single charge brought from that.
I get it. I understand it. But this is the case they're making today. And the case is that this Ukraine matter is easier to understand and they can explain it to a lot more people. Your feeling on that, sir?
Whatever it is, it's still not high crimes and misdemeanors. You know, they've been throwing this innuendo out there, and Adam Schiff was on TV yesterday throwing out even more baseless accusations. And keep in mind, he's the one who, during the Mueller investigation for 2 years, promised that he had more than circumstantial evidence that a crime was committed, and there was no crime committed. He never, by the way, brought forward that mysterious information that he had because it never existed. And then today, look, at the committee hearing the other day, he started making up a story that later even he admitted wasn't even fact to try to accuse the president of something that the president didn't do.
But even the phone call itself, do you
at some point there's got to be a level of responsibility.
And we'll figure it out as we move through it. Do you wish that conversation would have never happened, sir?
Well, I wish they wouldn't have released the transcript of a conversation with the president and another foreign leader, because it's not a good precedent to set. But the call itself, the transcript itself, didn't show any crimes, didn't show any quid pro quo, which is what they were saying it was going to show. It's just, you know, the idea that now they expect every conversation between the president and a world leader to be made public. Are they going to go back in time and do that with President Obama or any other president? Frankly, I hope they don't, because it's not a good standard to set.
Just one last thing. I know you're on the House side. Why do you think Mitch McConnell has been so quiet over the weekend? Well,
Mitch McConnell's been very clear from the beginning. Look, he's running the Senate. He's got a job to do. And frankly, he's doing a really good job of getting the judicial nominees through and handling other business.
But on this
but at the end of the day, the Senate's a different body.
So quiet.
Well, because it's not come to him, first of all. It's got to come out of the House, if anything will come out of the House. Nancy Pelosi, by the way, didn't even hold a vote on the House floor to start impeachment inquiries, which has always happened. The three other times in the history of our country that impeachment came out of a committee, it started with a vote of the full House. So I'm not sure why she's trying to shield her own members from that vote. You can ask her that, but it is a little odd because it's never happened before.
Sir, thank you for your time today, and we'll speak again very soon. And again, as I mentioned, we'll follow this as it develops. Steve Scalise from Louisiana.
Thanks. Always good to be with you, Bill.
You bet. You as well. Thank you, sir. Here's Julie.